Boys, it's looking good. If you're a Mass Effect fan, you are definitely gonna like the Expanse Osiris Reborn. It has Mass Effect written all over it. And if you're a Starfield fan, or, well, you got disappointed by how bad Starfield was, then this could be the space game for you. And in general, if you want a good story-driven game, the Expanse Osiris Reborn currently looks like it's gonna deliver on all of it in droves. This looks big, this looks fun, this looks interesting, and now we have a 35-minute gameplay preview. A lot of people have been given codes to experience it for themselves. I did not. I assume my code got lost in the mail because obviously I'm a big deal. So it doesn't make sense. It happens. It happens. But in any case, this is IGN's footage, a lamau, but it's not horrible. And I have to say, looking at this footage, it looks pretty good. I'm going to explain a couple of things that are happening here because the Expanse does have a lot of lore behind it and a lot of things. So, first of all, you have classes, and there are good things to say about this, but I will say a couple of very interesting decisions that don't make a lot of sense. For example, here you have classes. You have the Belter Officer, the Belter Hacker, Earth Officer, Earth Hacker. Belters are people who got born in the asteroid field and live there. aka they're taller, they're more lanky, and they can't really deal with the gravity of Earth that well. Earth Officer, Earth Hacker is the people who are living on Earth, obviously, and these are just flavors, because in the Expanse universe, there's effectively three major forces. I say three, but there's actually more, and that is the Belters, the Earthers, and Mars. We currently have nothing to show for Mars. Mars is supposed to be technologically a lot more advanced. But in any case, these are the classes that you can pick. And these are the classes with different flavor of, Belter or Earther that you can pick, which is probably going to impact the story, how it goes, and your choices in it. So we already have some pretty good roleplay potential here. You can hear the music. The music is decent. This is how space travel looks. As you can see, this is different than what you probably expected, because the Expanse is very much known for how it handles realism in space, and there's a lot of it, and that is why the Expanse personally is one of my favorite sci-fi things currently out there, and you can see this perfectly. This is an in-game animation, by the way. This is what you will see in the game. And it looks pretty decent. There's shadows. It looks nice. Now, granted, you can see some strange pop-ups here. And here is the first thing that's actually a little bit strange here. By the way, you can tell, because these are Belters. You can tell that this is a way longer than an average person. Okay, but you can also tell that this is your typical DEI haircut, but for some reason she ain't ugly. Interesting. And this looks pretty good. So right off the bat, if anyone is worried about wokeness and bullshit like that, because the Expanse does have a lot of different class things, race things, and blah 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 attached to it. None of that is here, because none of this is your playable character, by the way. None of this is a political statement currently, which is really, really good. Oh, and before we get to experience the voice acting, which is really good, by the way, there are a couple of strange things about this. First of all, obviously, this is kind of still a work in progress, and they have to do a little bit of things. We saw the pop in for the mug right here. Oh, I mean the space mug. And we're gonna see a bunch of pop-ins for other things, but that's honestly that's supposed to be fine. Fine, whatever. In any case, one of the strangest things that I think they're gonna probably change at some point, but currently it is what it is that if you pick a certain style of class in role, Earthling, Belter, or hacker, officer, or whatever, it is gender locked to a certain thing. You can't you can't pick the gender, which is a strange thing. I think they're gonna change it, but that's currently how it goes.
Oh, my man Zafar. Glad to see you.
Coffee? I've got a fresh pot.
Thanks. Can't imagine what hoops you jumped through to get the coffee, let alone the spices.
Every little joy is a candle. The more you light, the more life's darkness wanes.
Zafar and his metaphors. But you're right. The dark days are definitely upon us.
I was so worried about you, my friends. We couldn't contact the Piranha. Eros went silent. There was all kinds of speculation.
What exactly?
Talk about some outbreak and quarantine. All the while, the UN and Mars...
Yeah, as you can tell, some of the voice acting is pretty good. Some of it seems a little bit more lackluster. But all in all, I mean, I'm not disgusted like on Starfield's dialogues. So this is really good so far.
Mars issue no official statements. As if they were blindsided by all of this.
And here you have the choices. The disease was spread on purpose. We're not sure what happened exactly. This is not exactly the start of the game, by the way. This is already in, but this is what you get to play to just see and feel how it is. And, you see the last thing, and then you get to make your choice. How much do these choices actually impact things? A little bit iffy to answer at this point. And by the way, that's you, and that's your biological twin. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But that's effectively how this goes.
We're not sure what happened there exactly. But the quarantine is definitely just a cover.
And by the way, if you're thinking about all of everything what just got said, and you're thinking, wait, is this just a rehash from the story we already had in the Expanse? Yes, seems like it, by the way. Seems like it. And yes, it definitely is something that you could call lazy, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily bad.
Is that why you're alone? Without Vic and the others?
Yes, no one else survived. They blew up the Piranha when it was leaving. Whoever destroyed the station didn't want witnesses. We didn't know these guys like you did, Zafar. Still, we're so sorry.
Such cruel irony. Not to die in combat, but on vacation. Report to Director O'Connell ASAP. I just have one question.
You're a mercenary, by the way.
Is this ship yours?
You could say that. She was our ticket off Eros.
She can be legally recognized as yours by right of salvage. If the previous owners are dead, of course.
Oh, they are.
You'll have to tell me that story later. Right now, this ship needs a checkup and a reprogrammed transponder.
More than two choices. We haven't decided what to do with the ship yet. Do you know anyone who can do that? Can you help?
Can you help us with the transponder and the checkup?
Of course. I never pass up an opportunity to have a look around the new ship.
Sorry, but we need to go now. O'Connell's waiting.
Luna always carries with it the tides. I wish I knew what it is you carry.
Oh, and this is supposed to be like a companion that you can recruit.
Good luck.
So, next up, report to the boss.
Some of the animations do seem a little bit slightly janky, but there's also some animations that feel really good. The shooting animations, when we see that, is gonna be, I think it looks really good.
Let's go visit Larry.
Yeah, see, it feels a little bit Starfield-y, but this actually does make sense on how things work.
Stop by and say hello. You think he'll be glad to see you? I called him a pain in the ass. I want to say sorry.
And now, from Belter Today. The explosion at the ice hauler Canterbury has caused a water supply crisis on Ceres and renewed discussion over the inevitability of a military conflict between Mars and Earth. One of the survivors,
Yeah, so this is effectively before everything started in Expanse, so it's kind of like a slight prelude to everything, I guess.
executive officer of the Canterbury, James Holden, has published a video in which he declares that the ice hauler was destroyed by the MCRN. Mars denies all accusations. Holden's whereabouts remain unknown. Problems with the stable shipment of ice to Ceres have led to water supply disruptions throughout the station. Chaos in the streets of the Medina, protests, riots, and attacks on inners. Starfleet security has blocked off certain.
So, needless to say, the running animation is a little bit wild. Okay, I think that can be improved. Again, there's going to be better animations, running animations in particular. But if you recognize the story, what's happening kind of here, yeah, this can get wild really fast. This story will get extremely off the rails very fast.
Sir,
Here you are. I want an explanation. Where's Vic? Where's the Piranha? What's with the new ship in my damn stable?
the Piranha was destroyed, sir. Captain Barros and the whole crew died in the line of duty.
What? What the? Who were you up against?
They didn't exactly introduce themselves. The station was infected by an unknown bioweapon, presumably. It was a planned op. A bunch of guys with guns assured word didn't get out. They're the ones who destroyed the Piranha. The ship we escaped on belonged to them. We fought our way on board.
Wait. The news is saying there was an outbreak. HQ reported that even our UN contact doesn't know the whole story. Not a word about shots fired. Or ships being destroyed. Only the quarantine.
Quarantine, yes. But this does.
So far, what do you think about the voice acting and everything? The dialogue seems fine. The voice acting also seems fine. Again, a little bit at the start was a couple of lines were scuffed by the twin or whatever it felt, but now it's a lot better. Again, potential.
Disease, or whatever it is, was brought there on purpose. We barely escaped.
Maybe it's just because of the voice in general, how it sounds feels a little bit off.
Outbreak. The Piranha. This is insane.
Sir, you have to believe us. We're talking about the genocide of an entire station, the massacre of our whole squad.
I wonder. But this ain't exactly easy to digest. If you're telling the truth, then...
Sir, please listen. An unknown ship is approaching the station. Appeared right in front of us. The radars were clear.
Take what I thought the truth. Two criminals have taken refuge at your beach. I'm going to arrest them for stealing Protogen company property.
Protogen?
Yeah, you could recognize the name Protogen. Also, obviously a slight nod. A ship appeared out of nowhere on our radars. You know, the stealth ships and all of that stuff.
I remember that brute. We saw her on Eros.
By the way, Black woman evil. Now that's what you never get in games nowadays. Whoopee.
Somebody hacked our comms, and not only that, the docking system isn't responding. They want to.
We are preparing to board the station to commandeer our ship. Do not interfere.
We took their ship, but it was our only chance at survival.
And now they're here, boarding my station, handing out orders. Protogen will easily turn this into a massacre if they want.
Please just help us get away from them. Let us go back to the ship, and I promise we'll take off.
You've got Protogen on your tail. A company with infinitely more resources than Pinkwater. Even if you do escape...
That Protogen brute murdered our guys and blew up the Piranha. Imagine what she'll do to you if you give us up.
The facial animations for this one, though, definitely seem a little bit off. Again, it's still not launched. It's still not out to the public, but it's good. All in all, so far, so good.
What she'll do to you if you give us up.
I'm responsible not only...
And yeah, we're gonna get combat, like, literally in less than a minute.
...for you, but for the whole station full of other people. What do you want from me?
Cover us. Order every...
Wait. See that? Option. Requirements. Persuasion. And this one doesn't have requirements. So there are skill checks. Now, admittedly, I knew that already before. There's a bunch of things that require different skill checks, which is very nice. Very Fallout-ish.
Cover us. Order everyone to take arms and defend the station. We'll all have a chance at surviving if everyone backs us up. Even if you surrender the station peacefully, Protogen will just fly away. We witnessed what they did on Eros, and they'll kill anyone we've had contact with.
Can they really do this?
They hacked our comms instead of contacting you officially. That doesn't bother you at all?
Like hell, I'm going to give up my station without a fight.
Thank you, Oscar. We won't forget this.
Now, climb into the vent, get to your ship, and good goddamn riddance. We'll cover you.
Thank you, sir. And see you around.
Open fire!
Now, look at this. This seems pretty good. This definitely seems Mass Effect whole thing, right?
Suppress the enemy!
Now, why the hell is this person seemingly on keyboard and mouse, aiming like on console? Well, it's an IGN video. Can't help with that. But you saw the animation's pretty decent. Actual blood, what a time to be alive.
Slicker than a slingshotter. One, two, advance!
Say goodbye, one by one.
It's over, for now.
Pretty decent combat. Some environmental destruction, some environmental damage.
Hang in there.
and good luck.
Some very basic items like basic bullets and just craftable shit.
Gemini, do you copy? Over.
We copy. Zafar, our own personal search and rescue.
I'm on the Mott's bridge, looking at the tactical map and the feeds from your suits. I've got company, and locked doors aren't going to keep them out for long.
So they'll snatch up our ship if we don't hurry.
I'll guide you through. Follow my thread.
We're ready. Take us to the ship.
Advance to the door. There'll be a technical corridor behind it. I'll plan you an evac route. Stand by.
Loud and clear. We could use some ship support.
The walking animation's decent. The running a little bit should work.
Gonna pretend that never happened.
Protogen staff is inadvisable and will be dealt with. Hush.
Protogen is a private security company just like Pinkwater. Hostiles are likely close. Left side has a good vantage point. Perfect for an ambush.
Unit.
A little bit of scripted stuff, pretty decent. Interaction with your squad. Now, admittedly, it does seem a little bit Dragon... Well, it does not seem Dragon Age Veilguard-ish, but you kind of get the point.
Target in sight. Engaging.
You can see that NPC spaz out right there.
Slicker than a slingshotter. Zafar, where to next?
You need to throw them off your scent. Get out onto the station's hull. There's an airlock right next to you.
Roger that.
And finally, some space stuff.
Jay, let's get out there.
Wow. You know, it used to be that the infinity of space terrified me.
And when did it stop?
And I realized that actually, it's freedom.
Turn to the semi-ring. You can reach the Mott while bypassing enemy forces.
Look at that, actually some space movement. Now this seems good now. These are the good animations. At least I like them.
Eros, the Piranha, and now this. We've got ourselves into something extremely dangerous. We're like slingshotters doing some crazy maneuver. But someone messed up all our calculations and is just waiting for us to burn up.
If you don't know anything about the Expanse, I mean, obviously the word slingshotters doesn't mean anything, but I mean, the dialogue still at least sounds, I'm assuming it sounds at least still somewhat intriguing. I'm assuming.
Sorry for interrupting. Almost done reconfiguring the transponder codes. That means no more Mott. But the ship needs a new name to complete the process.
Not the best timing. But my sister and I will think of something. What the? We're sitting ducks out here. There's our exit. Engaging the enemy. Need a
Yeah, you see the different type of sound? Because the Expanse does the thing where there's no sound in space. So this is not what you are hearing happen to them. This is what you're hearing as in, you know, you shooting and that reverberates through your suit and whatnot, which is a very nice touch. A little bit of space magic. Bullets just flying away because of inertia. That's always cool to see. Absolutely love that sort of stuff.
Quicker than a slingshotter.
Look at that corpses just...
Hold it! We need them dead!
Observing the enemy.
Time to flush you out!
It does feel pretty good, huh? It does feel that this is actually like real space combat or something. This feels good. I think they definitely more or less nailed the feel, at least here.
1, 2, advance!
The destructible debris flying everywhere. This feels good. Look at this.
Hold it! We need them
Beautiful.
taking flank! You're already in my sight.
And yeah, there's abilities, and they're being pretty much used for the first time. Because, again, IGN, they're barely... how the verticality just instantaneously changes.
You're already in my sight.
I'm in hit! Hold it! Covering fire!
Locking on target.
The shooting seems good. The space combat seems good. What else do we want to see a little bit here? Because, you know, it's going to get a little bit repetitive. I guess you can watch the IGN video yourselves if you are that interested in. Because, you know, I just want to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. Can we get a little bit more voice acting here? Let's go.
Push them back! Positions!
It's these bastards again! So far, we can't penetrate their armor!
And that's some Mars tech, by the way.
EDC will test its strength.
Spread out! Take cover! Now!
Pretty good, huh?
This is our chance. Let's go!
Fire! Fire! Fire!
This'll hold them.
The computer has uploaded your call sign as the ship's name. I need authorization.
Granted. Let's get out of here.
That's so good. Anyway, yeah, that's what happens in the Expanse. Don't be good. In any case, I think this has a lot of potential, needless to say. I think this is very good. The eyes are not shiny because she's related to Mihawk. Anyway, yeah, that is the Expanse Osiris Reborn. I'm very hopeful. I think this could be really good. And, I mean, I think a lot of people are gonna love this. Any case, things can change. Things can get worse. Obviously. Maybe there's something really bad we're not seeing, but currently, it looks very promising. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.